What if I told you that most people, 95% of people, will never build real wealth? Not because they don't work hard enough, not because they didn't get lucky, but because of something happening inside their own mind right now, every single day. This video is going to make some people uncomfortable because the truth about why people stay broke is something nobody wants to hear. Every single day, millions of people wake up, go to work, pay their bills, and then wonder, why isn't it working? Why, no matter how hard they try, do they feel financially stuck? Here's the answer most people never get. Wealth isn't about money, it's about mindset. The way you think about money, the beliefs you formed as a child, the habits you repeat without thinking, the stories you tell yourself, these are what determine whether you build wealth or stay broke. Not your salary, not the economy, not luck. Today we're going to break down the 5 reasons why 95% of people will never escape the cycle, and more importantly, how you can. Reason number 1, the scarcity mindset. Most people grow up hearing things like, money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, rich people are greedy, and without realizing it, those beliefs become your financial operating system. The scarcity mindset tells you that there's not enough money, not enough opportunity, not enough time. And when your brain believes that, it makes decisions from fear, not from possibility. Here's the thing about fear-based financial decisions, they're almost always wrong. You avoid investing because you're scared of losing money. You avoid starting a business because you're scared of failure. You save pennies while missing the dollars. People with a wealth mindset, the 5%, they see opportunity everywhere. They ask, how can I afford this instead of I can't afford this? That one shift, from scarcity to abundance, changes everything. Reason number 2, trading time for money. This is the trap that most people are born into and never escape. You work 40 hours a week, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops. That's called linear income, and it has a ceiling. Here's the brutal math. There are only 24 hours in a day. No matter how hard you work, you can't work more than that. So if your income depends entirely on your time, your wealth is mathematically limited. The wealthy understood this early. Instead of trading time for money, they built systems, investments that work while they sleep, businesses that generate income without them being there, assets that pay them. You don't need to be rich to start. You need to start thinking like an asset builder, not an hour seller. Reason number 3, emotional spending. This is the silent wealth killer, and almost nobody talks about it. Here's what actually happens when most people get paid. A small dopamine hit, a little voice that says you deserve a treat, and before they know it, the money is gone, and they feel worse than before. Emotional spending is about using purchases to manage feelings, stress, boredom, loneliness, low self-worth. The shopping gives a temporary fix, but the financial damage is permanent. Studies show that the average person makes over 70% of purchases emotionally, not rationally, emotionally. The wealthy have learned to pause between feeling and spending. They ask, am I buying this for value or for relief? That 5-second pause is worth thousands of dollars a year. Reason number 4, your identity. Most people don't build wealth because deep down, they don't see themselves as someone who builds wealth. They see themselves as a worker, an employee, someone who isn't good with money. This isn't just psychology talk, this is neuroscience. Your brain has a built-in system that keeps your life consistent with your identity. When you start making more money than your identity allows, your subconscious finds ways to bring you back down. Sudden windfalls get spent. Successful investments get sabotaged. New opportunities feel wrong. The fix? You have to change who you believe you are before the money can change. Start saying, I am someone who builds wealth. I am someone who makes smart financial decisions. Say it until your brain believes it. Because until it does, no strategy will stick. Reason number 5, waiting. I'll start investing when I make more. I'll start my business when the timing is right. I'll start saving when life calms down. Here's what nobody tells you. Time is the most powerful force in wealth building, not intelligence, not opportunity. Time. If you invest $200 a month starting at age 25, by 65 you'd have over $500,000, assuming average returns. Wait until 35 to start? You'd have less than half. Same money, same discipline. A decade of waiting cost you over $250,000. Every year you wait to start building, you're not just losing today's money, you're losing the compounding of every future dollar that money would have made. The time is never perfect. Start now. So here's the question. How do you actually escape it? You can't just learn your way out. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. You need to rewire. Start with this. Write down 3 beliefs you have about money, not what you think you should believe, what you actually believe. Do you believe you deserve to be wealthy? Do you believe wealth is possible for someone like you? Then pick one small financial action this week. 1. Not a plan, an action. Open an investment account. Automate $50 into savings. Read 1 chapter of a finance book. Small actions build new identities. The 95% are waiting for a sign. They're waiting for the right time, the right information, the right circumstances. The 5% move. Imperfectly, scared, without perfect information. They move anyway. If you made it to the end of this video, you're already thinking differently than you were 13 minutes ago. That's not nothing. That's a shift. Don't let it stop here. If this opened your eyes, subscribe. Because next week we're going to go deeper into the habits and systems that actually build wealth from zero and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Not to lecture them, just because sometimes the right video at the right time changes everything. See you next week. You said HLK LHTSE VHTSE.